I just spilled water all over my desk, all over my computer, all over my hard drives, but at least no vachetta was harmed in the process of making this film. Hi YouTube, Autumn Beckman here. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. If you hear some whistling or talking in the background, that is my parrot, Vincent. She's an African gray. Today I have for you a one-year review of my Louis Vuitton Turenne MM. I picked her up. The bell and the scratchy noises, that's also the bird. She's chewing up a shoebox I just gave her to keep her mouth closed, but that's making noise too. I hope it's not too loud. Can't really tell right now. Okay, so I got this bag actually like a year and a month ago in New York City. I live in Houston, and it was a gift from the boyfriend, probably the only Vuitton thing he will ever buy for me, because this was quite an extravagant gift. And it's been a year and a month, so I wanted to do a year review for those of you who are thinking about getting a Turenne, so you can see how mine is held up in the conditions that I've used it in, stored it in. So let's get started here. I'm going to take her out of her dust bag, and here she is. She still looks almost brand new. So part of the reason for that is because she's Vuitton and she's well made. But another part of the reason is I've only used her a few times, and more than a few, but she's one of my least used bags. The reason for that is only because she has such sentimental value that I want to keep her pristine, and I don't use this as an everyday bag. I'm very, very careful with the Turenne. I keep it, I had it in the dust bag so I could show you how I store it. So store it in the dust bag, and then I keep the handles down. One of the issues that you can have from that is getting a little line here on the vachetta, as that Patina's, this would be lighter, so I do have to be careful about that. But I figure since it's in the dust bag when it's being stored, that light's not getting onto it anyway. If you know different, if you've had a different experience from that, please let me know so I can store it with the handles up or something. Let me show you how I keep her stuffed to keep the shape and tell you some of the issues. So inside the bag I keep the strap, and then I have this inside, which is this came from one of my Fashionphile bags from Amazon. It's just a clump of tissue paper that's all taped up, and that fits pretty well in there. And then on the sides of the clump I have other tissue paper that's stored to, the idea is that it keeps the corners here puffed out, because one of the issues that I saw with this bag when I researched it before I bought it is that the corners, as you can see, tend to dimple in. That's totally normal with the Turenne. Even not using it that much and keeping it stored the way I have, where I keep it stuffed, that still happened. So that's one of the things to be aware of. And the reason that happens is because the bottom of the bag is pretty soft and the top is heavier because it has the zipper and the hardware and the handles, so it just kind of sinks in on itself. So that's why you want to keep it stuffed. You don't want to keep it overstuffed though, because then you'll mess up the pleats. So I've been careful not to do that. One of the things I've talked about in my other Turenne videos is when I have it stuffed and when I'm using it. Let me hold this up so you can see. I don't stuff the bag higher than right about here. So I don't keep anything in the upper part of the bag, because that will push out the sides. It will make this tab curl up. It can damage or misshape the pleats. So that's something to be aware of with the Turenne. Let's have a look at her and see. So that corner issue is one of the things that I know was a known problem with the Turenne, or not necessarily a problem, but something that happens with the Turenne. Another thing that happens is this tab and these two tabs on the sides, and sometimes the zipper pull too, those tend to curl out. So if you look at mine, you'll see this one here is curling out some. This one is really not at all. And I haven't stored either of those separately or treated either of those tabs differently. So I don't know why this one's curling out a little more than that one. I've been careful not to overstuff here so that that doesn't curl out. So that has worked well. You can't really see because the handle's in the way, but it's flush with the body of the bag still. So that's good. With another reason for not stuffing it above this point is because that will also get these tabs to curl out. So I've been careful about that. I'm very careful when I store it too, that these don't get caught on the dust bag and kind of pulled out. So when I put it in the dust bag, I make sure those are laying flat. And yeah, let's just go over the outside here. So there she is. The patina obviously is really light. That has to do with just not using her that often, so she hasn't had that much sun. The patina is not like brand new. It does have a little patina on it. And this is I think this is the only piece I have that also has new patina, so I can compare a little bit. Let's see. How would I do this? Put these two tabs next to each other. So my little mini pochette, I think on camera they look identical, but the mini pochette tab is slightly lighter. Actually, they look pretty close in person too. This piece I got in October, and I keep it in the dark. I use it every day, but it stays inside a bag so it doesn't get any light. And the patina on those is pretty much the same. I'm trying to find something to show you where you can see the difference in the patina and how little this has patinaed in the course of a year. That's something that when I've watched videos about Vuitton and the patina process, something I've wondered is how long it takes a bag to get the darker honey patina. I like the light colored patina, so I like to keep it that way as much as possible. And you know, I'm fairly new to Vuitton. I've been collecting Vuitton for 2 or 3 years now, and I'm still learning about that process. And most of what I buy is pre-loved, so having brand new patina is a special, or brand new vachetta is a special thing for me with the white patina, and I'm definitely no expert on that. But for those of you who are also new to Vuitton and wondering about that, that's why I'm talking about it. So something that would help you get an idea of the process and what to expect from your patina over time. So I keep saying I'm going to show you the whole bag. Let's go ahead and actually do that this time. Just going to spin it around for you. So she's still pretty pristine. It is normal for the pattern not to line up on the bottom of the Turenne. I looked at several different Turennes, the PM, the MM, the GM, and I went to different stores and saw different ones. They all didn't line up. I have seen some online that do line up, but it seems to be more common that they don't. There, it lines up well on the top, at least on my bag. And I'll show you the inside here, and then we'll talk about some other issues. I'm looking at the tab inside too, so that the inside tab usually has a lighter patina. Again, they look pretty much the same, so I really have almost no patina on the outside of the bag. And the inside has this one big pocket, and then on the back where the tab is, there are 2 slip pockets. See, there are no zippered pockets. On this side, there's a little D-ring, which I forget that this bag even has. And then on the other side is where you find this tab here that says Louis Vuitton Made in USA. And then the date code tab is inside this pocket there. And I got this bag in 2017, March of 2017. And it's now April of 2018. If you can't tell, the inside is, it looks brown at first, but it has a kind of maroon tint to it, sort of red tint. All right, let me go through some of the known issues. So I already mentioned the tabs curling, I mentioned the dimpling. One issue that I have seen online and I have not seen on my bag, I'm gonna put my glasses on and make sure, And I've seen this both with Turennes and with some other bags. I want to say maybe the Graceful. I'd have to look at the bags to see for sure. But with the bags that have this folded bottom down here, some people are having issues with the corners of the canvas cracking, or some of the, like the top layer of the canvas, or maybe the coating on the canvas peeling off. And I have not had that issue with mine. My canvas still feels very supple and soft. So I've been lucky with that, I guess. Again, I'm also very careful with my bag. I don't know if that has anything to do with it. If these other people are banging their bags around more than I do. I think I remember some people saying they're very careful, or they've only taken their bag out a couple of times and they're still having that issue. It's something to be aware of. And particularly, I guess, if you're getting a pre-loved bag, because there are lots of pre-loved Turennes on the market now, that's something to watch out for with what you're buying, and make sure you ask for pictures of each of the four corners. One of the things that I noticed about this bag the first day I used it was that when you wear it, and I tend to wear bags on my shoulder. This comes with a crossbody strap that I wear it on my shoulder. It hangs a little lower, like a little lower on the hip than I would prefer, but I get used to it and I enjoy it. Anyway, I love this bag. What I noticed is that it tends to conform to your body, so it kind of curves around your curves. So it will curve like this. And since I noticed that the first day, I've been careful with it. I wondered if that would become a permanent thing over time. So far, it has not. So like I said, I'm very careful with this bag. When I'm done with it at the end of the day, I take everything out, I restuff it, I put it in the dust bag and put it away. So I'm just kind of obsessively careful with this bag. One of the things with this bag, I like to wear charms on my bags. Like here's just an example. And I hang them from the D-rings here. And on this particular bag, now that one actually worked pretty well. I think the clays are one that's a little more difficult, but these D-rings here, the space to get a clip in, like right there, if that makes sense, where that ring goes through, the space between like the chap and the handle is very small. So some of the key rings will scratch the vachetta a little bit. You've got to be careful about that if you're considering this bag and you like to wear charms. So just watch that, be careful. Some people have noticed the top edge here, the canvas is not folded over, it's just an edge that's glazed. And some people have had cracking of the glazing or of the canvas there. I haven't had that issue. This seems to be either a really well-made bag that doesn't have those defects, or I haven't used it enough for those defects to come into play. I'm not sure what the answer is there, but she's still pretty much like new. Another thing that I'm careful with on this bag is when I pull the zipper, I don't want to get the oils from my fingers on the vachetta tab. I wish it wasn't a vachetta tab, because then you have to worry about the vachetta on it, right? So what I do is I'm very careful about grabbing the zipper by the metal piece to unzip and zip, so that I don't get the oils on there and get it dirty, and I don't curl that tab. Because I'm so careful with this bag, I don't have any watermarks or staining anywhere on the vachetta. I did get a watermark on the handle, however, the crossbody strap, and that was my own fault. I had the bag in the bathroom in front of the mirror, probably to do an outfit of the day shot for Instagram. And let me find it. I put it on the bathroom counter. I got a tiny spot of water right there, you can see. And what I did with that, if you get, this has been my experience anyway, again, I'm no expert on vachetta, but what I do is when I get something on the vachetta that's wet or oily or something, I've done this with other bags, is I immediately get as much off as I can, but then that spot that's there, rub it in, because if you just leave it, it'll leave the little ring around the mark. And if you can blend it in more, then at least, even if it stains, it hopefully will be a little more subtle. So that's a small tip for you there. The hardware on my bag looks new too. Unless I got on a microscope, I wouldn't see any scratches on here. There's no plating wear at all. Let me show you some of the other, like the zipper being something that's used a lot is one of the things that tends to wear as you look at like pre-loved pieces, tends to wear over time. And then the D-rings tend to wear because you've got metal on metal, and mine are still coated in the gold color and they look really nice. I think I went over all of the known issues with this bag, none of which I have had so far. I love it. I've been very, very happy with this bag. I know a lot of people consider this bag against like a Speedy 30, and I have a video comparing those two, and I will link that below so you can check it out. I definitely recommend this bag. I really love it. I think for people who would want to use it as an everyday bag, it's a fantastic everyday bag. It would be perfect for that. I just happen to be more careful with mine, mostly because of the sentimental value. It means a lot to me that the boyfriend got this to me, got this for me, and that he got it in New York because I used to live there, and New York has a lot of meaning to me. The interior still looks new too. I haven't had any problems with that, but I know a lot of people are interested in this bag. It's still available at Louis Vuitton, and it's also available pre-loved. The pre-loved bags, I had someone ask me about this recently. The pre-loved bags tend to go for pretty close to retail still. So if you're considering this bag, my personal opinion would be to buy it new. That would be my recommendation, because maybe you spend an extra $200 or something, but then you've got everything that comes along with buying it at the store. You get the store experience, you get the packaging, and then you also have the guarantees from them. Well, hopefully guarantees. LV's customer service isn't the best these days, but you have a better chance if something goes wrong with your bag, like the cracking on the canvas. You have a better chance of getting a new bag or having that repaired or replaced for free if you buy it at the store. So this is one of the few things that I would actually recommend buying at the store if you're considering getting this bag. People also wonder about the sizes of them. The MM, I think, is for most people the right size. I tried on all three. The PM is quite a bit smaller than this. I don't have the dimensions in front of me right now, but you can get those on the Vuitton site. The PM, when I saw it in person, was much smaller than this, and the GM I felt like was much bigger. This size feels like a handbag to me. It feels like a good size handbag. It is comparable to the Speedy 30. The PM, if you're more into a 25 size or a smaller handbag kind of girl, then maybe that's the bag for you. The GM, for me, felt too big to be a handbag. It was more like a messenger bag kind of feel when I tried it on, and I'm 5'3" and I'm not tiny. So if you're not near a store to be able to try them on, that gives you a little bit of an idea maybe. But hopefully that helps a little bit too. Quick tip for you, if you are interested in the Turenne in the PM size, and you're watching this video like the day I post it, go to therealreal.com. I have it linked below, and I'm filming this on Sunday, April 15th of 2018. Okay, so this is not gonna last long, but they have a Turenne PM listed wrong. They have it listed as a Tivoli, and the price is only $875, which is way below what they usually sell the Turenne PMs for, but they have it listed wrong. So if you are really interested in that bag, that would be a fantastic little opportunity for you. Snag it. And if you don't mind, snag it by clicking on my link so that I get a little bit of commission from that sale. So that is it. If you have any questions that I didn't address, please let me know in the comment section, and I can either answer the questions there, or if I feel like it needs a video video, I can do a video about it. And I hope this was helpful. If it was, please click the like button. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please click that red subscribe button and click the bell notification icon so you are notified when I post a new video. And follow me on Instagram. I'm autumnbeckman there too, if you're into that sort of thing. It's all Louis Vuitton related, and sometimes my dachshunds. That's it. Thanks so much for watching. Have a fantastic day. Bye.